Mustard movie nights, mustard movie nights, mustard movie nights, movie nights,
feeling right. Oh, mustard movie nights, rubbing in the cellulite.
You get the mustard in the jar, watch a movie. Oh,
Dip away in the mustard, yeah. Oh, well, mustard movie night.
So here we are on Mustard Movie Night.
Mustard bloody movie night.
You may remember us from such podcasts as History's Maddest Bastards.
Which we're not doing this time because it's a lot of work.
It is related, but it's not the same. If you haven't met my friend Stephen Harrison here, he a long time ago he actually invented the shoe.
He did, yeah.
But not the other shoe.
What was he playing at?
That was my housemate who
You despicable traitor.
Yeah. It's unacceptable behaviour.
So
he only knows the left shoe. He never learned the right shoe.
The shoe's on the other foot now.
Yes. So what are we doing here today, boys? This is different to usual.
Well, basically the setup for this is we get together and watch a movie, which is often of the rather strange variety.
Which, funnily enough, we've just done, and we've literally already watched the movie. So I don't know why I just asked that.
So what did we watch? What did we watch?
We watched something that made you very excited. It was called Wild Zero.
Yeah, if not that we'd encourage you to pirate it, but it is available on YouTube. We watched the DVD.
They need your money. Don't do what we did. Buy the DVD.
So the film Wild Zero, it's about 20 years old now.
It came out in 2000.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's
I mean, you can kind of tell that when you're watching it.
2000 was only like 7 years ago.
But more importantly,
no, it wasn't.
What was it about?
Indeed, that is the question.
What was it indeed about? Zombies.
There was a band.
Japanese people.
Rock and roll.
Love.
Hair. Combing hair.
Yeah. If you haven't seen it, it's about a real life band from Japan called Guitar Wolf.
Oh, what a band.
I know.
Describe their style if you can.
Well, actually, I've got some bloody facts about them.
We don't need facts, we have music. No, seriously.
Do you want me to read it?
I mean, let's start off by talking about the band.
Yeah, the band themselves. This film was kind of made to promote them. They were formed in 1987. Wikipedia.
Younger than me.
Well, no, they were born way.
Oh, formed.
They weren't playing out of the womb.
Yeah, he said formed. Not
they came out
if
fully
they were real
formed.
rock and roll, they would have been playing in the womb.
Yeah, I know I kicked in the womb, but yeah.
They got comfortable in the old Mama Jamma.
They've got some very original names. They're called Guitar Wolf, Bass Wolf.
Is Guitar Wolf the one who plays the guitar?
Yeah, and his band is. I think he's.
Who's Bass Wolf? Does he play the drum? No, he plays the bass.
Yeah, then there's Drum Wolf.
What
does he play?
What
does he play?
I think Drum Wolf plays the drums.
He plays.
I've got it harpsichord.
Do you want to know what their genre is? Can you guess?
I would say it's punk, really.
Unfortunately, it's not. Their leader, Guitar Wolf, actually created a whole new genre for them. It's called jet rock and roll.
Jet rock and roll. He seems to really like.
He loves the word jet.
Yeah, was it the opening song? Every other line features
jet
the word
explosion,
jet.
Blood explosion.
Get this jet up, you. No,
jet my jet up.
I'm paraphrasing.
Can I read from an interview with him where he explains this?
Yes, you can.
These are Guitar Wolf's words.
Yes.
I love jet plane. I love noisy music too. So, there were records. Many records. Every record have no big sounds. So, easy to listen. I hate that. So, I add jet sound. Brang! Explosion.
Did he actually say brang?
Well,
how is brang spelled?
BW and then a load of A's and a H and an N and a G. So,
bwang.
Explosion.
Good job we cleared that up. Yeah.
Well, in the same interview, he was actually asked if he coined the term jet rock. Guitar Wolf replied, "Me, yeah. So we are #1 Japanese jet rock band." So that tells that.
Everyone's got to be the best at something, even if you have to create that.
You got to be #1.
So was he speaking English when he did this interview?
Yeah.
He didn't just say this in his native tongue.
No, this was in English. So I think he spoke English at the time, but maybe not fully fluently. He says all things like yeah.
To be honest,
jet rock #1.
To be honest, I know a few English and American rock stars that don't speak English fluently. Look at Ozzy these days.
Oh, bless him.
Bless his living soul.
Oh dear. This actually wasn't their first film appearance.
Really?
They were in a very similar American film called Sore Lose in 1997.
Really?
Oh.
That's like it's about a race of aliens who look like people from the 50s, and they come to Earth to murder people.
Better get on the old perambulator.
Guitar Wolf play 3 men called the Mysterious Strangers, and they shoot people with lasers that come out of their eyes. Which is very similar to what
I'm pretty
Zero.
sure that exact thing just happened in
the movie film that we saw.
If you found the winning formula, then don't. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. Well, if not to ruin it, if you'd rather watch it, then come back do that. But what was the plot? Shall we walk through what it was about?
What indeed was the plot?
Well, if I had to sum up the plot in a few seconds, I would say it's about a rock and roll band who are out to save their number one fan.
Ace!
His name is Ace.
He's a sweet boy.
Hello, Ace.
And yeah, so Ace is sort of in a bit of a difficult situation. He's in a world where this meteorite has just crashed to the Earth, and
I forgot about that.
all these aliens are flying around.
It's not very well defined.
No, not really. It doesn't really explain what's going on. But
that's
zombies.
a lot covered in about 30 seconds.
Yes, there's zombies all over the place.
Because of a meteorite and UFOs.
Yeah.
Do they know about them though? Have we seen them?
I don't know, but
they're having an argument with some villainous boss.
Who wears hot pants?
And he's my favourite villain in anything ever.
He won't he won't stop wearing aggressively tight, small hot pants.
If you haven't seen this, he wears a variety of different coloured wigs in like a Beatles haircut and lace up hot pants.
He's a brilliant villain.
He's amazing.
I've never seen one quite set up as quickly as that into somebody you hate the sight of.
So yeah, the band are out to save their number one fan, and all the while they're being pursued by this hot pant wearing villain.
The captain, because Guitar Wolf shot off his fingers for some reason.
Indeed.
I wanted to
We
attack.
They never really explained that either, did it?
It's not explained. They have a fight, and he's sort of like, "We used to be friends, Guitar Wolf," and
so-
it's not really explained what went wrong.
Ace sort of bursts the door open and then goes, "Rock and roll is alive," because the villain is saying, rock and roll is dead. You can't just live by rock and roll
that's why they're
anymore."
not friends anymore, because he doesn't believe in rock and roll.
That makes sense. He sold out, basically. That's it. He
Yeah,
sold out.
to
He
the
tried to
man.
make money.
The bastard.
Yeah, so don't sell out, or a teenage boy will burst in and shout at you, and then get your fingers shot.
Yeah. After spending a long time looking in the mirror, combing his hair, that was a long single shot.
Oh, well, actually, this is a fun time to bring it up. I used to have the DVD, but I lost it. It comes with a feature, or if you ever want to watch the film and play the drinking game, you have to drink every time something's head explodes, every time flames shoot out of something, every time
microphones, cars, bikes.
every time there's an explosion. There's one scene that transitions into another with an explosion.
The guy just exploded. Nobody seemed to mind.
Also, every time someone combs their hair, and I think every time they say rock and roll or jet.
Rock and roll!
And if you watch the film, most of Guitar Wolf's dialogue is just jet, rock and roll, love. Jet, jet, rock and roll. Ace!
Yeah. It had... Well, where did it go from there? It's sort of... Ace is making his own way through Japan just on the back of a bike. They had an oddly weird but eventually progressive message about same-sex relationships.
Nice. Love has no borders or genders or nationality.
Okay, here's
this is a bloody spoiler.
Yeah.
Shall we...
Well, yeah. If you don't want any spoilers, then why the hell are you listening to this?
Don't listen to this. Watch the film. It's rather amusing.
Yeah. But Ace goes... the petrol station. They go to a petrol station, which they keep coming back
there
to.
So many times.
Do you like SO petrol stations? Watch Wild Zero. They go to the same one multiple times.
There are a few weird sort of hoodlums who... I think they're career criminals. One of them goes mad and tries to hold the SO petrol station up with a couple of butterfly knives.
We don't know what was going on.
Butterfly knives? What do you call them?
The flicky knives.
I think that's the right name for them.
So he sort of goes crazy with a knife in each hand, tries to hold the place up, and then it just fails because he has one of those catatonic moments.
And then, it's when our hero Ace walks in through the door.
Yeah,
and
he
hits him in the face.
He just saves the day by opening doors on people.
Yeah,
that's like his go-to move.
And
that's the old trick. Is
the old opening doors on people trick.
And the girl from the petrol station who takes a shine to him is trans.
Yeah, she turns out to have a knob.
Well, I mean, it never.
He didn't take
It
that
never
well.
makes that abundantly
Well, it was
clear.
1999.
Yeah, he really. I mean, it was better than Ace Ventura.
It's heavily implied. It doesn't make it abundantly clear that she has.
I mean, in this day and age, if anything, it's a bonus. But in 1999, it was more of a surprise.
Yeah, there was a sort of he rescues her from zombies
And he's
later.
like-
She takes off her clothes, and then he suddenly starts screaming and runs out of the room. That was not so cool.
To be
But by
honest-
the end of it, they sort of
To be honest,
made up for that.
that's how women react to when I get naked. They tend to scream and run out.
Yeah,
of the
but
room.
when you do it, is there a white light being emitted from you, like Gandalf the White?
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because that happened in this.
She
film.
gets naked and all this light comes off her, and it's a bit magic. And then it turns out, does she have a torch like in her knob? I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. It's some sort of Gandalf the White moment. As far as
But
I'm
yeah, don't get naked in
Gandalf,
front of
as he
people
should have
without
been.
asking him. I don't
Does
know.
that normally happen at work, Simon?
Yeah, normally, like, we're having a lovely day, and then I get naked, and they say, we've spoken about this.
It can ruin a picnic.
Yeah.
Poop, poop.
If you want someone to leave the room, though, that's what you do.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Get the odd bottom out.
It's when they don't leave that you should probably be worried.
That's why I haven't been passing these job interviews lately.
Yeah.
Well, I just said, can you promise you won't get your knob out in the office? This is bullshit! I'm leaving!
I didn't work there. I didn't get the job.
Yeah, that's fine.
Anyway,
I'm-
the Esso petrol station.
It sounds like we're describing this film poorly, but this film makes no sense.
No, I think we're describing it fairly accurately, to be honest.
We're describing
He
it
rides
very
about on
accurately.
his motorbike, listening to rock music with no sound system on the bike whatsoever.
Combing his hair.
We got the
Forever combing his hair.
We
got
got the
rockabilly hair.
crazy, the wild bunch of criminals who are not very good criminals at all. There's the Yakuza going to meet a woman in a Hummer.
We liked that bit, didn't we?
A woman in a Hummer with guns.
Though we liked the Yakuza man because he had our new favourite noise.
Hang on.
What was that noise?
man. Oh! Or something.
Yeah, there was a guy trying to talk to him, and he sort of like gave him a wave like the Queen does, and just went and then the other guy had to be quiet.
That means, I don't want to hear you anymore. Yeah.
I want to start doing that where people are just like, we really need to have a meeting about.
But that's where it got. Of course, that's where it got confusing. Because the guy who played the Yakuza guy's bodyguard also was in the scene with the villain who likes Beatles wigs.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's never really explained, but pretty much all the henchmen in this film are the same bald guy.
Yeah,
and it's never explained.
I thought they died at one point, and they may have done.
Yeah, I think they
don't
do
know.
shoot him, and there's just loads of him, and it's not explained.
So where are we going?
Yeah,
from
the
here?
way I like to think of this film, I think having just watched it, I'd compare it to Tenacious D. I think it's
was
like
similar, yeah.
Japan's response to Tenacious D, where it's a
This
couple
was
of
before. This was 2000.
well, yeah. Actually, yeah, that's a very good point.
There was even a bit where the lead's Guitar Wolf, he gets a handful of plectrums and kills a bunch of zombies.
Starts flicking them out of his hand like he's throwing knives or something, and then it starts electrifying all the zombies.
That whole make it rain gesture that people do with dollar bills. So he does that with plectrums and hits zombies in the brain.
And that's very Jack Black in Tenacious D. So
maybe Jack Black stole it.
In the same way, it's
maybe.
I don't know, who knows?
Waddled his way into this
I mean,
film
he's
and
probably
took it.
seen it, hasn't he? You know that man's watched a lot of shit
he's
films.
seen
Like,
it.
he must have done.
But would you recommend it?
I would recommend it as an experience. I think everyone needs that experience.
Basically, there was a lot of gunplay. They hold up in an armory owned by the Hummer woman.
Oh yeah,
I never quite found out who she was, except she had a deal set up with the Yakuza.
Yeah,
she was wearing a very interesting outfit.
She
as well.
was.
She had a weird, almost like houndstooth
It was like
jumpsuit
Burberry, I think.
Burberry jumpsuit with sleeves but no legs.
Yeah, it was like a swimsuit with sleeves and fur on it. So
and she really didn't have the sort of the buttocks to carry it off, did she?
no, that was very much a bottom outfit.
Sorry for being judgmental, but it was.
We'll judge a bottom outfit.
I mean, I kind of agree with you, but I wouldn't complain.
No, it was very confusing. I think
she was fine by me, really.
I think the plot was that zombies broke into a house and ripped up all the clothes, apart from a wacky onesie thing.
Oh,
yeah, there's actually a scene where they rip
she's
her
like, my
underwear.
clothes! Because she's wearing like army clothes at the foot.
Ace gets left in a building full of zombies and spends about an hour with a crowbar just swinging at them.
Well, there's a good progression of weapons in that, because he starts on shouting rock and roll, then he hits someone with a door, and then he picks up a mop.
A mop.
Gets given a...
He used the mop pretty well, actually.
Yeah, he takes out. They are bad zombies.
Yeah, Guitar Wolf does a blood pact thing with him as well and gives him a whistle.
Well, he said, "Oh yeah, that."
He says, "If you get in trouble, blow this whistle."
That is an important plot point. He saves their lives, and he gets.
So luckily, while he is surrounded by zombies about to get eaten, he does blow the whistle, and the lead Guitar Wolf, he hears it and starts going, "Ow!"
Yeah.
Rock and roll. Yeah.
And then eventually he goes for an axe it's behind a gate that he can't quite reach. And then sadly he never uses the axe.
I thought he doesn't use the axe, does he?
That would have been great in the film, but no. He gets a crowbar after that, and he does okay with the crowbar.
I think my favourite weapon in that film, though, is Tobio, who's like the love interest, picks up just a plastic water siphon.
Oh, yeah.
And just sort of wobbles it about.
That was one of the terrible tropes that are always in zombie movies, where, in this case, it was Tobio. They stand there in the middle of a circle of very slow, shambling zombies and go, "Ah!" and get surrounded.
She does faint a lot.
She keeps going back to the petrol station. Maybe it's the only place she knows.
She goes there.
And she just stood there and sort of went, "Oh no! Ah!"
That is the interesting thing about the film. No one's really got a backstory or a family. Ace is just like...
Especially not Guitar Wolf.
He's their number one. Well, he gets a bit of one.
He's too cool for you to know it.
Well, he does a bit, though, because we know that he was a kid when the captain, who's the baddie, was now. He's like, "I remember when you were a kid and you wanted my boots." Because that's how he talks.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I do like the way he keeps drinking he drinks the same bottle of beer throughout the movie.
Oh, this is a bloody fact. They've got their own line of beer called Jet Beer. And that's what he's drinking through the film.
That's awesome.
Oh, we should look that up.
We should have got some Jet Beer.
I mean,
if they still do
bought it.
Yeah.
Well, we wouldn't have known about it until we watched the film.
No, this is another bloody fact. The way that he drinks is how he drinks on stage.
Oh, nice.
Because if you notice in the film, whenever he starts to drink, he finishes it, then throws it on the ground and shouts "rock and roll."
Yeah.
Did he finish it in the movie?
No, actually, no. There's one bit where he's got a bottle and he puts it in his bottle holder.
Oh, yeah,
his
mounted
motorbike.
on the bars of his handlebars of the motorbike.
Well, you've got to be responsible when you're drinking and driving.
Because
You've got to put it somewhere.
Yeah, he chooses not to drive in a car. In fact, at one point, there's an awesome scene where he gets his revolver out, shoots two zombies with one bullet. That are stood side by side, not in a line. One ricochets into the head of an adjacent zombie, and then he shoots a car which bursts into flames.
For no reason.
But if he'd got in the car, he wouldn't have been able to drink and bike.
It makes I think
because of his Jet Beer.
We're trying to find sense in this. What was everyone's favourite moment?
I'm going to go last on this one, I hope.
I mean, do you want to start?
I liked the captain. Because he wears different coloured hot pants in nearly every scene, which is always, that's a way to dress, that's a power move. Also, for some reason, towards the end of the film, bloody Guitar Wolf uses the power of rock and roll to electrocute him. Unfortunately, that gives him electric powers and he shoots lasers out of his eyes, which is a good move. What did you think, Stefan? What was your favourite bit?
It's quite difficult to choose a favourite bit, I suppose. The bit near the end where Guitar Wolf somehow ends up on top of a building playing his guitar, and then when the bloody mothership flies over, he does this really bizarre thing that would never work in reality.
How dare you?
So he pulls the neck of his guitar to reveal that it's actually a sword, and he pulls a sword out of his guitar, and obviously the strings don't really matter at that point. They don't come into it.
There are no strings on it.
Love has no boundaries.
Yeah. Love has no boundaries. And he pulls his sword out of his guitar, and then slashes the mothership all the way down the middle. And the ship doesn't pull away or anything.
It just
it's
keeps
like, fair game, he's got us, let's just keep going. And then it explodes spectacularly. And I think that was my favourite bit because that was quite rock and roll.
That was very rock and roll.
I'll be honest, that was the bit I was going to pick because it is awesome. He cuts a spaceship in half.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so cool. But at the same time, I did like the bit where Ace just get cornered by zombies. And unlike most people who are just, oh no, those things out there, what are we going to do? And then just spend a lot of time flailing away, like in Dawn of the Dead with the Flyboy with that hammer.
Oh, yeah.
Hits the zombie and falls over.
If
Ace. Ace went proper mental with that crowbar and just started smacking things for about a total amount of 20 minutes.
Yeah, they keep cutting back to him because other people will be talking like, we've got to save Ace. Because
he's probably dead now. No, he's just braining zombies constantly with a wild look on his face.
If anyone hasn't seen Dawn of the Dead from 1978, it's got probably the worst hammer fight you've ever seen on film.
Oh God, it's awful.
This really.
And then the woman stands there, and he's like, "Go, get away!" And she sort of looks around and then stands there. Seriously, run away!
Yeah,
run now. Anytime now would be good.
He's this gangly guy who basically hits a zombie with a hammer, then falls over, and he gets back up and he pushes another one over, and then goes. Aah! So we'll watch that at some point.
But what I liked as well is they didn't do that bloody movie trope in zombie films where they go, "Oh, what are those things out there? I don't know." Oh,
they
zombies, and they started banging on about this movie that was that Dawn of the Dead.
I think it was Night of the Living Dead they were talking about.
Yeah, so they'd obviously seen a zombie movie,
so they knew what to do.
And then they started arguing about whether you had or hadn't seen it, if you were shit or not.
Another part that I thought was particularly funny. It was a few different parts actually. It's where. Whenever Ace is in like a spot of bother, as it were, he will just see a vision of Guitar Wolf who appears to him.
Like
his spirit guide.
Animal, yeah.
Like his spirit guide. He just kind of turns up and goes, "Ace!" and then gives him like some very hasty advice and then disappears.
Ace! Rock and roll has no boundaries, love knows no gender.
Do it!
Yeah,
it was great because there was a blossoming love relationship between him
and he finds out she's got a knob and it's too much for him and he runs off. But Guitar Wolf's
he didn't handle that too well.
Now then Guitar Wolf's like, "Guys, suck her off! Guys!"
Yeah.
I mean,
get back in there!
Not quite in those words.
Get back in there and be a man.
Guys, stop me a tease!
Yeah. I need that in my life. I need a Japanese motorcycle riding, beer swinging.
A man who's just like
person with a penis.
Well, yeah.
Would that help you if you're not really sure about something? Like, I don't know if I should do this. Like, my name's not Ace Guitar Wolf.
They'd probably get quite annoyed with you because in today's world, like that would mean asexual, wouldn't it?
It's like a Japanese Brian
they'd accuse you of berating someone. Like,
well,
are you accusing them of being a certain sexuality? You're not allowed to do that.
It's a funny film, really, because it's oddly aged well. Because at the time, it turns out it actually was very well reviewed in some circles. Because it was quite an early film to actually have a trans woman in it. So it's quite progressive, really, but the message is just, you like it, just date her, like, don't worry about it.
I mean, the thing is it really progressive? That's my question. Because it's not, the point isn't that she's trans and they're kind of celebrating that, it's that
it's just
she shows her penis and then the guy runs off screen.
And then runs away, Jesus. And locks himself in another room where she does get surrounded by zombies.
Yeah.
And then, as far as he knows, they're dead. So what does he go? He goes, "Oh no, they were a guy, but I kind of love them, so I better go outside the room, shout a bit. Oh no, they're not there. I might as well barricade myself back in the room."
Does he lock himself behind a door while they're both being chased by zombies? Yeah, that's a bit naughty. Don't do that. You don't condone locking yourself in a room.
He wasn't the kind of guy that you would put your life in his hands, was he? But a silly boy.
But yeah, I mean,
he does go back though, so bless him. He realised he done her wrong. He done her wrong, and he went back.
Have you got any more facts for us about this?
Oh, many. They've got their own clothing brand called Jet Clothing.
Really, I'm surprised at the name actually.
Jet Clothing.
Do you want to know?
You only wear them on a jet.
Do you want to know why they?
Or do they have jets in them?
I don't know if they've even got. I bet they've got a plane. Do you want to know why they released Jet Clothing?
Yeah, tell me.
So you can live the jet lifestyle.
Is that the actual reason?
Yeah.
Wow.
Guitar Wolf decided you got to live the jet lifestyle.
Well, you can't really argue with that, can you?
I don't know what jet lifestyle is.
I don't either. I'm not sure they even do. But
whatever it is, I'm pretty sure I'm not living it.
Oh, I've got an actual fact that's quite bloody interesting.
Yeah,
the cast are Japanese, but if you look at it, it doesn't really look like Japan.
Yeah.
It was shot in Thailand.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Well, the actors are Japanese. All the zombies and the extras were played by the Thai military.
Was
which
it
is very odd?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Was it sponsored by Esso Petrol?
I bet it bloody was. If you're a bloody weeb and you like that sort of thing, their music turns up in the anime Black Lagoon, which is on Netflix.
I've heard of the name.
Okay.
I haven't seen it.
One of the main characters likes Guitar Wolf. I've got... actually, you'll like this fact. In 1999, they released an album called Jet Generation, which features heavily in the film. Matador Records claims it's the loudest album ever put to wax, and it included a warning that playing it at full volume could damage the listener's audio equipment. I don't know if that's true.
Because it's so jet fueled.
I don't know.
Some say it can even melt steel beams.
Oh, now we're going into a whole different level of stuff.
So do you think instead of planes that did that terrible thing, it was Guitar Wolf?
I think
he just shouted.
It's
at
a
those
possibility
buildings.
that we
And
shouldn't
shot
rule
it
out.
with a revolver.
Sorry.
You know what makes me think we're not living the jet life?
What's that?
Because we all had spaghetti and we nearly fell asleep.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
true,
We decided to watch film record a podcast. Matt made a load of spaghetti and I got very sleepy.
Spaghetti bolognese. Yeah, Simon entered some kind of comatose stage.
I woke up every now and again and shouted rock and roll, and I didn't see much of the film.
Rock and roll!
Oh, also, from watching the film, one of my favourite lines was the captain, who's the baddie who wears hot pants and shoots lasers out of his eyes.
He was awesome.
He exploded a building and then went, bye-bye, baby. Which was amazing.
That whole scene with the electrocution, because it seemed to... I thought the electricity originated from the guy's sort of platform heel. Boot.
Yeah, no, it was rock and roll.
Yeah,
Guitar Wolf had more
It was all
rock
rock and roll.
I got
baby.
very confused. I thought he was stepping on an electric bin or something.
We know they've got a background, but it's not really explained. So I don't know if he was a mentor or they were a couple or what. But they've had a background because he keeps saying you'll remember the old times.
You seem like a perverted uncle or something.
This
Maybe-
film
maybe
reminded me a little
Dylan.
bit of Conan the Barbarian in that...
What false to do?
not really, no. It's just the whole kind of... Sometimes there is dialogue without words, if you get what I mean.
Just
So there's a lot of
yes.
sounds and grunting that, it kind of
A whole lot of
approximates
undertones.
to its own language, but it's not really. Where it's like
Yeah.
the bit where he saves the girl at the petrol station.
He just goes,
What, in 13th Warrior? I don't remember that.
What? No.
not talking.
I said Conan the Barbarian, not 13th Warrior, but...
Oh, sorry, I had 13th Warrior on the brain. That's
No,
another
that's
film
right.
we should do.
Well, we should do that next time.
Conan the Barbarian at the Esso petrol station.
Yeah, imagine that Arnie walking into the
He'd
petrol
make
station.
short work of those zombies.
He probably would, yeah.
I'll tell you what, Alex Schwarzenegger wouldn't be afraid of a knob.
No.
But yeah, like just the whole thing where the guy's kind of talking to the girl without words, and he's kind of going like,
Yeah, he's a bit nervous because she's like, "Oh, you must be so brave," and he goes,
And he's like,
"Oh,
Oh,
and you just
yeah.
kind of you're watching that thinking like, okay, he's going to say something eventually. And then he walks off and gets on his bike.
Yeah,
It's
what
like,
I don't understand is she's fainted during a robbery. She's all on her own. She doesn't have a car. She's just wandered this petrol station. He goes, "Oh, you're all right," and he just drives off and leaves.
Yeah,
her
that's a
alone.
very good point.
Yeah,
what's,
yeah.
what's she doing at that bloody petrol station
Well,
in the middle of nowhere?
she has no background at all.
She just turns up.
She's just wandering about. He rescues her, fucks off, and then he's like, "Oh, I should have probably rescued her properly."
Tobio.
What was the whole deal with Hanoko, Toshi, and Masao, the crazy knife guy?
They were completely unnecessary to the
The
plot.
crazy knife guy looks
Yeah.
a bit like Shaggy at the whole Scooby-Doo thing.
He was a wasted character, and he died far too early.
Yeah, he went catatonic at the wrong moment when he was about to rob
I
a
think the
petrol
one line he
station.
had in the whole film was, no.
I'll fucking kill you.
I'll fucking kill you away.
Oh yeah,
don't
no,
you
actually,
do
no,
anything.
he did actually say
Yeah.
stuff in the petrol station, didn't he?
Yeah, basically, they go into a petrol station to buy petrol. He takes out 2 butterfly knives.
Says,
tries
I'm
to
holding
rob
this
it."
whole place up, then doesn't do anything, so the other two get scared and leave.
And then he has a little cry.
Yeah.
It was a very odd film.
And then he gets eaten, and then the two of
By the
them
most-
keep arguing. She goes off into the woods to
Ostensibly
urinate.
to have a piss. She
And
never
she
has a
never
piss.
did. She spent the rest of the film not urinating at all. So if you decided the game was that you can only urinate when other characters urinate, you get one at the start where Ace is doing a big one.
I mean, if you listen to history...
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah, they did show
POV,
him.
Oh, yeah,
they had
POV
like a-
urination.
Yeah,
I mean,
basically.
I think that's the main flaw in this film, that there isn't enough pissing.
How did they film it? Did they have to attach a GoPro to his...
I imagine they rigged up some kind of fire hose, because that came out at a force of knots.
And it kept stopping and starting.
It looked bright yellow, like some kind of weird Monster Energy.
He also berates the elderly cleaning man who doesn't move for not being rock and roll.
He was mopping that one spot.
Yeah, he didn't know it was rock and roll, clearly. He was spent by that point. Too much pushing him up around. Oh, the mop as well. Who knew that the best zombie smiting weapon would be a mop? Because Ace picks one up. People have tried to take zombies out with guns and whatnot, but apparently a mop does wonders.
Does pretty well, doesn't it?
Would you like to hear a few names of their songs and/or albums?
Yes, please.
I can't wait. You may have noticed a theme though. I've got a long list: Wolf Rock, Kung Fu Ramone.
Really?
Run Wolf Run CD.
Nice.
I'm going to turn the page now, a bit of ASMR for you. There you go. There's also Missile Me! !
What?
Planet of the Wolves. Jet Generation, we've already heard that one. UFO Romantics. Love Rock. Dead Rock. Space Battleship Love.
Ooh.
T-Rex from a Tiny Space. Yo Yuhan, I've pronounced that badly. Love and Jet with 2 T's. Okay. Murder by Rock. I Love You, Okay, and Jet Satisfaction.
I love you, okay?
Okay.
Sounds like, reminds me of...
Wait, sorry, show me those again. So there's one called...
Jet Satisfaction.
I'm sorry.
I love you, okay?
T-Rex from a Tiny Space, Yo Johan.
I should have looked into that.
Yo
really.
Johan.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Hang on, let's see.
T-Rex from a Tiny Space,
Yo Johan.
Space Battleship Love.
I like that one. This is lunacy, but...
It's fun.
They've been around for more than 30 years and they're still going strong. Although
they've aged well, I've got to say.
I've got a bloody fact you might not like though.
Go on.
Bass Wolf died.
What?
Yeah, in 2005, in the middle of their tour, Bass Wolf had a heart attack and died.
So when we were looking up the song afterwards,
that wasn't the original Bass Wolf.
Was it not?
No.
Oh, they thought they could fool us.
Well, they gave him the same hairstyle.
I assume it's like the Phantom, where like when the Phantom dies, there's a new Phantom, but he's still the Phantom.
Yeah.
So there'll always be a Bass Wolf.
I hope so.
Witch's horse.
The world needs
called
a bass
Roach.
Yeah, it's the same idea.
Yeah.
But don't watch the
They
film,
just
it's
bury
very
him in
odd.
the back garden and get another one.
We need another Bass Wolf, and then like it just pans across like an Omaha Beach level graveyard of all the Bass Wolves.
Oh god.
Yeah.
I mean,
So we watched the film.
Yeah, we watched the film. We've kind of reviewed the film in a very disorganised way.
Yeah, we sort of
how many
launched bits of plot at the wall like spaghetti, and they've stuck some of them.
spaghetti? Yeah. How many jet beers out of 5 would you give it?
Ooh, that's a difficult one because I mean, jet beers out of 5.
That's
a different kind of rating criteria to the usual. How many stars would you give it?
Yeah. What about how many Burberry jumpsuits out of 5?
No, I think we should stick with the jet beers. So I'll give it 2 ratings. I think in terms of usual sort of 5 stars for films, I'd give it probably like I guess 2.5.
Oh.
Maybe a 3. Maybe a 3. I might go as high as a 3.
Oh.
But then jet beers out of 5.
Yeah.
I think it's probably got to be an 11.
For the first rating, I have to say, why do you hate love, Stefan? Well, why do you hate love?
Well, hang on a minute.
I
just gave it 11 jet beers out of 5.
No, fair enough. Very good.
Yeah.
Jet is rock and roll.
In terms of their own criteria, jet beers out of whatever, I'd say they've exceeded all expectations.
Yeah. I mean, if anyone ever wants inspiration from the film, there's a scene where our hero Guitar Wolf is cornered. Laser Eyes is shooting him with lasers. Actually, no, he's using a grenade launcher at the time. He's in a room that's set on fire with a grenade, so he jumps out the window on fire while shouting rock and roll.
Oh yeah,
and then he's fine.
And then he lands with his guitar and then just plays a chord or something.
So that's
because
what you do.
He was playing guitar. Yeah.
If you're in trouble, just jump out a window on fire and you'll be
as
fine.
long as you've got a guitar.
If you ever get dive bombed by spaceships, pull your katana out of your electric guitar and cut the motherfucker in half.
Yeah.
There was a bit where the captain got bitten on the hand by
a
zombie. One of the zombies. It was Toshi. He gets zombified, and then the captain pulls up in his car, winds the window down, starts talking to the zombie who talks back.
saying like, "Where's Guitar Wolf?"
And then
He
just
doesn't talk like
says, "Oh, come round to the back of my car," and is trying to gesture him into the boot. Toshi bites his hand,
and that plot point
and then
is
he
never
just goes,
returned.
"What, motherfucker!" and punches him in the face.
Oh, I forgot.
And still puts the zombie in the boot.
At the very end of the credits, the captain does reappear as a zombie and goes, "Ah!"
Does he? Wow.
So yeah, that plot point is returned. So it just takes a very long time.
I couldn't tell what happened to him after he started shooting lasers out of his eyes.
I mean, after Guitar Wolf cuts the spaceship in half, all the zombies drop down, don't they? So you're led to believe they're all dead.
He's an independent
still rock and roll
operator.
baby.
Fair enough.
Did he murder that girl who sings the song?
He took her through that room, and he was being
no, he was watching TV with a badly dubbed girl on it dancing in a crappily way.
No, she was in the room with him.
She was in the room because he takes her to the room after.
I
to the
thought
next
it
room.
was like a TV clip.
Yeah,
and he was eating.
thought...
He was eating.
No, that might have been when you left the room.
That was her audition. Basically, there's a girl singing like a corny Japanese love song.
I remember. Yeah.
She's like doing
like
an audition.
Love Beam.
Love beam. Do. And she's wearing like a dress covered in hearts, and he's just eating meatballs and staring at her. And Sidney's like, "I'm not."
Speaking of balls, what's the story with that whole gold ball that they?
Yeah,
I don't know.
What does it
At one
mean?
point, there's a gold ball. Guitar Wolf picks up the gold ball.
Well,
during
no.
the shootout
Let's
with the
go
captain.
through. Let's go through the whole process here.
Let's go through the
Where does
story
he
of
get the
gold
gold
balls.
ball? It's inside one of the zombies.
Was it?
He reaches inside his
Well,
neck
no, there's an
and grabs
original
the ball.
gold ball.
No, because there was the gunfight at the start of the film with the captain.
Yeah,
The captain gets his finger shot off, and Guitar Wolf takes the gold ball.
Yeah, I thought it was meant to be something to do with drugs because the captain's always like taking pills and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
he
And
is, actually.
He's got a load of bloody drugs, so I thought it was related
At
to
one
that.
point, they shot the head off a Yakuza corpse.
Was the captain after the gold ball? Because I thought he was angry because they shot his fingers off.
I can't remember.
Because they meet up later and then he goes, it's worthless, it's
Yeah,
not real gold.
I got the feeling that the gold ball was like a pivotal plot point, but then it just got left alone.
It's just one of those things that they introduce and then forget about.
At one point, Guitar Wolf, he shoots the head off a Yakuza member's corpse, and then there's a hole down his neck. He shoves his fist with the gold ball in there, and then pulls it back out, going, every zombie has one of these.
I think the idea was that every zombie's got one, and then it's just not really returned to.
Haven't we all?
Doesn't make any bloody sense.
I don't
This
know.
film about a Japanese band that fight zombies and save their number one fan Ace from UFOs is bollocks.
It's a symbol
It doesn't hold up.
It's a symbol about the struggle against
in the
capitalism.
best possible way. I mean, how many stars and jet beers out of 5 would...
20 jet beers out of one.
I'd give
one.
Yeah, that's how
5
good
jet beers out of 7, personally.
Yeah.
Okay,
But,
5 out of 7.
I think.
Woods,
What about actual
Yeah.
5-star ratings for movies? Like,
How about
5.
mustards out of
Not 5.
12?
you wouldn't give it 5. How many would you give it?
3.5.
3.5.
Because there are some
Okay.
awesome scenes. I've
give
never
you
seen such a good, cool Japanese punk rock band shoot at cars.
On,
and
that,
smoke.
on that point, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Yeah.
That's it. I think that's my favourite scene where he shoots 2 zombies with 1 bullet out
And then just shoots a car. That
Yeah,
Shoots
and
a
they're,
car.
they're not even in line with each other either. He shoots it, and both of these zombies who are like 3 meters apart, they
just
both
both die.
explode.
Because
And
he's
the car that he shot was behind him.
And he didn't even look.
He was sat on a motorbike at the time, not even looking, shot a car which exploded
immediately
behind him, and he didn't even look at it.
What's bizarre though is he's meant to be rescuing this poor sweet boy Ace. And
Your
then
past
like
week, bye.
there's a car that they could have used to escape it and he just explodes it.
Yeah.
But there is a scene where someone touches someone else on the shoulder and he explodes, so the film is like
That is
Oh,
true.
and the guy who held up the petrol station exploded and then was fine.
Oh, yeah,
and
no,
nobody reacted
because that was
just
that was a
one of
scene
those-
transition.
That was one of those scene transitions where
That's the
But
only
he
time they
affects-
use
that's
that.
the only time they use the explosion scene transition. So it actually looks like the guy explodes,
They
but
didn't
then
wanna-
he's fine.
They could only budget for 1, and that's when they used it.
Now,
But I think we need more explosion scene transitions in
explosions.
petrol stations.
I think they should use that in every film.
But we were watching it, yes, and we all went, "What the hell was that?
What other
What the hell
films?
just happened?"
I mean, what films do you think would benefit from an explosion transition?
The Crown. No, that was a TV series.
Not
Sorry.
benefit from it.
Born Free.
Yeah, that'd benefit.
Explosions.
Born Free 2: The Revenge.
I don't know
Gandhi.
if they'd benefit, but maybe Mad Max might. It might make some sense in that.
To not like Schindler's List or anything
I can't believe you said that. I was literally just thinking Schindler's List a minute ago, and I thought, no, I can't say that.
That
really,
would have cheered up the ending, when Liam Neeson's crying because he realised he could have saved more people. If Ben Kingsley touched him on his shoulder and then there was just a big explosion.
Oh, if they put it there,
there's an idea. Films with Ben Kingsley, and we should watch Sexy Beast.
Oh yeah, do you like bald men shouting at people on planes?
Watch
Sexy Beast.
Anyway, I think we've reviewed the hell out of this film. So how about, I don't know if you guys agree with this. Do you think we should possibly start a tradition at the end of each Mustard Movie Night where we decide what the next one we're going to watch is?
I thought we were going to watch Conan the Barbarian. Actually, no, comment.
Shall we present our options, and then if people want to write comments on the YouTube video, they can certainly vote for them?
All three of our listeners.
I mean, for my benefit, so I can remember which ones I've already considered, and I can put on the poll.
Conan the Barbarian.
Conan the Barbarian.
Weapons of Mass Destruction. That's a good film.
With Null and I.
Robin Hood, 2010, the Russell Crowe one.
I'm trying to think.
Well, we kind of have to whittle it down to 3, or do we not? I don't know.
King Arthur, Legend of the Sword. That was another
Is that
one.
good?
Bad Boy Bubby.
I've seen it.
We want to watch Bad Boy Bubby.
I think you guys would like the King Arthur one.
Yeah, I've heard it's
I haven't seen it.
People talking in Guy Ritchie voices and running about going, what's going on?
You
What's happening?
You muppet, you slag. You muppet, you slag.
It's a very larpy film. However, imagine a larpy film that somehow just about manages to maintain this kind of fantasy setting.
Is it true it's got war elephants?
It does, and they're about the size of a battleship.
Is Ray
I'll have
Winston
to watch it.
Is Ray Winston?
Yeah, is Ray Winston in it?
Does he play a war elephant?
I can't remember.
Can we just
I don't
review-
think he
Does
plays
Daniel
an
Craig have a very brief cameo?
Probably. I don't know. I
can
can't
we-
remember.
Can we just review Ray Winston films? That's all we want.
That's also
Is Sexy Beast a Ray Winston film?
Yeah, he's the main character.
Then I think we have our choice.
Yeah. We could watch Scum.
Okay,
That's
we'll
Ray
make
Winston
a
in
poll
prison.
about this anyway, but
yeah.
Yeah, anyway, guys.
Ray Winston was actually in King Arthur. But
Yeah, we'll compare the Arthurs.
Clive Owen.
He's the bad actor who does casino adverts where he's just like, go online and bet, and here's a peanut, go bet, and that's it.
I've got a side tangent. You know Clive Russell, who played the Blackfish in Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
We've met him, haven't we?
I met him.
And
you met him as well.
Didn't he punch you in the shoulder?
No, he didn't punch me, he punched a friend of mine. And he punched him so hard he knocked him out of the shop. But I'm not here to implicate Clive Russell in possible violent events.
Well,
I think we were all part of that.
We did a thing.
He was in what? Someone was going to say something.
We were extras in a thing.
Someone said that
Clive Russell, who played Blackfish in Game of Thrones, was in King Arthur at the start. I was just going to link it to the fact that I have met him, and so have we, when we were doing extras work as part of the Battle of Hastings.
Here's a fun bloody fact. He was the most famous actor there, and he was the only one that queued up for catering. So
really?
Bless that man.
We just grabbed what we could, and I had to fight a cat for mine.
Yeah, you fell asleep and a cat sat in you full English, and then you continued eating it.
I wish I was there on the second day. That would have been great.
You really should have been.
I remember you guys drunkenly betting on arm wrestling between two of our other
arm
friends.
wrestling? I remember rock, paper, scissors.
Oh no, sorry, rock, paper, scissors.
There's no arm wrestling. We had a real man sport. Rock, paper, scissors.
This has fuck all to.
Anyway, this isn't anything to do with the
this
film
is our
anymore,
next choices.
Although we did pile up, I believe, 12 beer mats on a dear friend's head.
If anybody has any ideas for films that we should drunkenly review,
if it's pornography, put it in my DMs.
Yeah.
I'm not paying
for
Doc
it. Martins, so... just roll it up in it.
Oh yes, just put the name of the film in my little boots and I'll give it a look.
Right,
Booties.
well, this was Mustard Movie Night, and this is us signing off.
Get out, go away.
Sign off on my face.